Well, good Saturday morning, everyone. Always glad to see your smiling faces on Saturday morning. I think I always look forward to this morning. Even if I'm tired and I get up here, it's amazing what the energy through Zoom can do for you. It kind of get you going every morning. I see people from all over, and Todd really rubbing it into us today. He has to go to the sand and the beach in the background. You can't see Todd because it's a little dark, but I don't care. We're seeing that background. Kind of hard to argue with that background. We all put up what we know is Brent's got something up in his background, but I think that's one of those virtual backgrounds. Yeah. And Todd's got is just sitting down somewhere on the beach doing this to us right there in Destin, where we're going to be at our event next week. And I think we ought to talk about that first. I mean, Todd, don't we have some announcements to make about some things that's coming up for that event, or Coach Palmer?
Yeah,
I don't know who needs to do that.
I'm going to let Brent and Andrew give everybody the details, but I thought what I would do is for anybody kind of on the fence that's maybe sitting in the snow in Denver, or the snow flurries in Tennessee, or the snow I know headed toward North Carolina and Virginia, just let you know that we are in shorts. And this is cool. It's supposed to be in the middle 70s next week. But more importantly, I'll just tell you, it's going to be an event that will be life-changing for those of you that do want to build a business. We will have 3 big recognition ceremonies. We'll have a level up recognition ceremony, a title advancement ceremony, a transformation ceremony. You're going to see a ton of 100-pound weight loss stories, fit to rip stories, hormonal stories. We're going to launch a new product. Deanna Latson will be there to do it herself. You're going to have special evenings just with owners. Mark Wilson one night, Deanna Latson one night. Ken Bailey and Andrea are going to MC the whole thing. If you've never seen Ken Bailey MC, he is hilarious. Everybody loves Andrea. They're going to be unbelievable. But the theme of the event will be, Brent and I say the same thing. We just use 2 different words. He always says point of sale. I always say income producing activity. So for those of you that do want to build a business, when you leave, you're going to know how to do those 2 things, how to create a sale and have income producing activities in your life. Ken, anything you want to say? And then Brent, we're going to turn it to you and Andrew to go through the true details.
No, but as I keep saying on these calls, Todd, I don't know how you could get more value in an event. I mean, not only with all the speakers, the leaders and whatever, as you mentioned, evenings with Mark Wilson, Cameron Bott, and Deanna Latson. I mean, I would pay hundreds of dollars just to go listen to their evening talk, let alone all this other added to it, and the food and the party. And it's just a don't miss event. And as we've said, I really believe as we're coming out of COVID, hopefully for the last time, this is going to launch our company into the biggest year we've ever had. So make sure you're a part of it and have as many as your team there as you can possibly get there.
Coach Palmer?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's I'll be honest, it's this event is like what's happening inside of our company. And, we would like to look like geniuses and go, we scheduled this thing just at the right time. We knew this was all coming together. That's not the case. We scheduled this thing like months and months ago, but there's some very, very important, unique things that is coming together for this event, like timing wise. And so right now, it's really funny behind the scenes. I want to take y'all behind the scenes a little bit. The company executives are like hurdling over each other to get to Destin. Like Andrea Rosser had a call yesterday with some people inside of the John Racer account that's headed up all of the social media, all of the website work. And they're like hurdling over each other like, hey, I think we need to be there now. Talked to Christine, which heads up our North America marketing, and Christine was like, hey, just so you know, I found a way to get on a plane and get there. So now she's coming. It's not a question. I was on a call with Fred Cooper, Mark Wilson. A lot of you were on that call on Thursday night, and they're all talking about it. And so the reason they are is not just they go to events all the time. It's because of things that are coming together in our company that are coming to this event. And then the things that we have to roll out to you, like Todd said, if you're somebody sitting there going, man, I want to know how to do this. I want to know how to really do it. That's what you're going to get at this event. You're going to walk away with tools, with the how to, with the motivation, with the belief from the corporate executives. But then we're going to take like really time with you. And what I mean by that, and Todd alluded to it, is Mark Wilson has said, hey, I want individual time, roundtable discussion with the team, with everybody there that wants to come. And I want some individual time, Deanna Latson said, with the people that are there. I mean, where they can ask me questions, where it's more of a round table. Thursday, the mastermind event is going to be an event where like it's going to be total communication, total. So belief's going to go up, the how to, the tool rolls, the rolling out of the tools, John Racer coming in, talking about the enrollment flow, the smart links, everything that we got that's lining up for us to go out and crush 2022 from Destin on. And so one of the things, Chris, and I'll go right into it, that the executives wanted us to do, we were really deciding internally, like, should we even offer a Zoom up for this event? And to be honest, if it was up to me and probably us four, we wouldn't, because we know the impact of being there. And one of the fears of putting on a Zoom is somebody is sitting there and can talk their way out of coming. Like, well, you know, I've already paid, but you don't want to miss being in the seat. Like you can miss it if you want to, but it could be the biggest mistake of your 2021. If you want to start, or 2022, if you want to start your 2022 off with a mistake, have a ticket to this event and don't show up. That would be a mistake. So, but for all our beautiful family and friends in Africa, in Canada, in Japan, in China, like all around the world, I don't want to leave anybody out. The company executives want us to open up a Zoom. Chris, I don't know if you've got this to be able to share. If you don't, we might be in trouble. Andrea said she shared it with somebody.
Hey, she shared it, but I'm not sure I can share it.
Okay, sometime during this call, I will have it to share, but we have a Zoom Eventbrite link for you. The charge of the Zoom, we've had to hire some things, bring some people in for Zoom capability. The charge of the Zoom will be, I believe, $38. Okay. And this is something that you can share with your team. You can get out. All of Canada can come. Anywhere can come that wants to tune into this event. And it will be, you know, second to being there in person. There it is. Take a picture of it. Take a picture of it. It's down at the bottom right. Costs $38 per person. It's there's the Eventbrite. Go put your teams on a Zoom. But let me tell you this. I'm going to say this again. It is the next best thing, I guess, to being in the seat. But there's going to be so many things during the course of the 3-day event, Thursday mastermind to the Friday, Saturday event to the whiteout party. Like everything is included. Like I can't tell you, like everything is included. You get yourself into the seat and you're going to get it behind the scenes time with Mark Wilson, Deanna Latson, whiteout party. So you got your tickets, you're already booked, you're already coming. Do not let anything stop you from getting to that seat. And that's not hype. That's not just me saying that. That is all seriousness with where this company is going, and all roads has just, fortunately for all of us, led to Destin, Florida. So Todd, Chris, Ken, that's what I would have to add. I can't wait till next week.
We did put a Facebook Live out yesterday, just for everybody's schedule, in case you weren't on it, that on Sunday morning, we have added a church service. Craig Tomanini, a pastor, Dr. Lorraine McFarland, a pastor, PhD pastor. And then we have a special guest couple, Nancy and Matthew Botsford, who have traveled the world the last 20 years. Matthew was shot in a drive-by shooting in Atlanta in the head, went through his brain, killed his brother-in-law, killed him. Nancy prayed out to Jesus. He came back to life, but had an afterlife experience. That's what they're booked. They've been on Dr. Oz, PTL Club, but they're going to share their testimonial at that service. That'll be 8:30 to 10. And then we're going to have a beach day after that. So for those of you that don't have to hop on an airplane, that just can hang out for the rest of the day, it's going to be sunny and beautiful and suntanning weather. But I'm excited about this morning, Chris. We've got some crazy good guests.
You know, I think that Coach Palmer said it right when he said everything seems to be aligning. I think you should just let everybody think we had this all planned and all this was coming. So we were that, that we were just smart. And, it is odd that there's so many amazing things about that is happening. And I'm on the phone all day. I'm hoarse today because of all the calls yesterday. Part of us have gotten over a cold, but other part is every day.
Kristen, two last things on the event before, because I've been getting a ton of questions on when food will be served, Brent. And then also, guys, I don't think I can tell you what yet, but there's going to be a new promotion revolving around trips. It's going to be announced. It's going to be one of the most exciting promotions we've ever announced since the company's been in existence. Really, really. You see, Todd, there.
It is my favorite promotion ever. Like this announcement that's coming that's not hype. That is for real. Like I've been asking for something like this for 9 years. Something easy, doable. If you breathe the right direction, you're going to win it. If you win it, it's going to change your life forever.
It's a big, big, big deal. And so, Brent, do you know when food's going to be served?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely do. So here's kind of the setup so everybody knows. On Thursday, if you're a part of the mastermind process, we're going to have some breakfast for you on Thursday. Again, all of this is on MOA Challenge. It's on New Age Nation. Like, so the times, everything. If Anthony, if y'all want to put that out there, but here's the deal. Thursday, we're going to have breakfast, some finger foods for you on Thursday, some coffee, things like that. And then on lunchtime on Thursday for all the mastermind people, we're going to have lunch, kind of like a box lunch, served for you. So you'll be fine for lunch. And then towards the evening, we've obviously got our sunset cruise, which I'm stoked. We own the boat, and we've got some special things on the boat for you. Can't leak that out. Just got to get there. And then that evening, when we come back on the dock, that's where everybody will be able to kind of go pick and choose where they want to. But there's tons of restaurants all around the location where the boat will be coming back in. So that's Thursday. On Friday, we will have a session, and then we're going to break for lunch. We know that people want to spend time with their teams, and so individually. So we're going to break for lunch and let everybody, there's plenty of restaurants and things on site, but around on lunch on Friday. So you'll be able to go to it.
Brent,
We don't start till noon.
Yeah. So,
I'm sorry.
Friday's
That was Saturday.
So
sorry.
apply what Brent just said to Saturday, and then now.
Yeah. Excuse me, not Friday. Yeah, Friday the doors open at 11:30, and then we'll go Friday. Friday night is when you can break and have some dinner around with your team. Get something together. But also on Friday night, we've got a time with Deanna. Okay. Deanna's going to be there for some individual times. We'll have more information for that on Friday night. Saturday is when you'll kind of have a segment for lunch on your own that you can go out. And then we're going to come right back and go through Saturday. And then we're going to break. And when we break, we're going back to our rooms, getting dressed for the whiteout. And then we come back to the event, and that will be fully catered like no other. Like I've been on the conversations with Andrew Rosser on what will be laid out. Can't wait for you to see it. So it'll fill you up. Just be there Saturday evening.
Yeah, live music and dancing at that one, and just on the property are 3 restaurants. You'll have a huge restaurant on the inside lobby. There's another bar/sandwich restaurant by the pool, and then out like where the thing goes on the beach, they've got their own bar/food area. It sits on the beach, but within a 60-second walk are about 5 restaurants. So if you're planning things before you get here with your team, Crab Trap is kind of the anchor restaurant right next to us. But inside of the crab trap, there is a taco place. There is a shrimp basket place. They've got all you can eat shrimp for $9.99 during the daytime hours. Just great. Like if you Uber to this location from the airport, outside of the dolphin cruise, there's no reason to ever leave the resort again. We will have to. The dolphin cruise actually takes out about 2 miles away, so we will have people there with cars, but there may be a few Ubers to get everybody over there. And that would be the one night you might want to that you could eat off site, because most people probably eat right where that cruise comes back in.
Last thing, I know we got to go, but I got to say this, just so everybody that's attending understands, the company, the executives, they're bringing their own video crews there as well. So they're going to be recording and doing some renew testimonies. They're going to be doing other testimonies. They've got an event location set up inside of the place. We're also going to do a lot of social media work. Kristen and a whole group of people are going to be out Friday morning, I believe, or Saturday morning. I don't have the thing in front of me, but for a whole walk down the beach, exercise program, it's going to be a lot of social media tied into that. We're taking pictures, doing things there, as well as the cruise that evening on Thursday.
And Brent, I did it yesterday. I'm like the slowest one to adapt. But I did it. It's when I finally got it done, I was so glad that I did. But if anybody out there that's on Telegram right now, if you would post the link to Telegram, every single bit of the things we're talking about is flowing through a Telegram group that Andrea created. So that's a really big deal. So just click on that link, it'll ask you to put a code in. But if you're in that group, you will see the information flow. And especially as event time gets here, there may be little things like, hey, Deanna's late night speech is starting at such and such time. A little bit of those things are in the ebb and flow. So that all that stuff will be flowing through there. So if you're planning on attending and be there, if you're planning on being on the Zoom, plug in. If you're just planning on not doing anything at all, plug in to see what you're missing.
Yeah, we're going to be posting pictures, a lot of things in that Telegram group, and share it with your team. Get your team plugging into that. So Andrea just put the link and how to get on the Telegram, and that'll be a great communication source for us. So, all right, I'm excited about this morning with the guests we got lined up.
Well, let's start with LeRoy. I mean, I've known LeRoy for a long time, and I know the story because I was around and was with the company when LeRoy got his first bottle. I guess is the way to put it, because then we weren't in pouches. We always talk about the power pack pouch. LeRoy started on his journey when the mold was in the bottle, back when you had to keep it refrigerated after opening. So, LeRoy, why don't you just come live and tell us virtually what happened and where you were at and what changed. I've heard it, but I think a lot of people don't know your powerful story. Unmute yourself, of course.
I'll mute myself there. Well, good morning, everyone. Big happy waves. I get this from Coach Palmer. Even, hey, look, a real quick plug. You have to do the Coach's Corner. Unfortunately, I'm working at that time, but I go back and watch it. But if you could do it live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., it's a great way to start your morning. And look, I think he's one of the best, or not the best, speaker, but motivate. He just gets the blood flowing and makes everything awesome. But I go back and watch the reruns, the replays. But good morning, everyone. My name is LeRoy Peralta. Like Chris said, I've been around for a little bit over 7 years now, and I'm happy to be here. Extremely happy to be here for many reasons. One, I think that you never know the people that you're going to meet in network marketing, and you never know how they're going to impact your life. I remember the first time that I met Todd was through another company, and I was just blown away. This man is, they all these four guys that you see here are geniuses, right? And I can tell you that on my Facebook, I had a memory that popped up from 6 years ago, where I actually got to meet Ken Bailey in person. And that was my first RX event. And Ken Bailey was so gracious because I was 7 weeks post heart transplant, okay, in 2016. And Ken Bailey sat me at the table. Get this, with Fred Cooper, Ian, I forget his last name, but Ian, the smart guy that can speak 7 different languages, Dr. Ray Strand, right? I was so privileged. But let me get to my story. Born and raised here in New Orleans, Louisiana, as we say, Nolans, and life was good. I was a police officer for 12 years and decided that I didn't want to do that no more, and went after my true passion, which is cooking. And I was very fortunate and blessed to be the executive chef for the New Orleans Saints from 2007 through 2011. So yes, I was there during Super Bowl. And, then I kind of branched out on my own. Well, fast forward, at the age of 44, on July 29, 2014, I had my first heart attack. And, went to the hospital, they put me on medications. 7 weeks later, on September 1st, I turned 45. 11 days after my 45th birthday, I had my second heart attack. And they put me on some more medications. Well, now fast forward to February 26, 2015, and that's when I had my third and final heart attack, to the point where they didn't let me leave the hospital without putting a defibrillator inside of me. And they transferred me. They said, my doctor came in and said, hey, LeRoy, everything went well, but unfortunately, you can never go back to work. You're going to have to go on disability. Now, at the time, I have a little girl that I'm taking care of. That's the first thing that came to my mind, right? I didn't hear everything else. What he says, I'm going to have to transfer you to another hospital, to the heart transplant department. That never sunk in. So I go to the other hospital. They're telling me about, hey, you need to, we need to get you to do this procedure called the LVAD, which is a left ventricular assistance device. In other words, an artificial heart. And I prayed about it, went to a meeting, didn't like what I heard. I turned it down. And the doctor's like, you don't understand. You're at your ejection fraction, your EF is less than 19%. Your heart is barely pumping. And I said, no, I'm gonna wait. Well, fast forward to August of 2015. Oh, let me stop right there. When I was released from the hospital, my good friend Tammy called me from Myrtle Beach, and just to check up on me. And what happened after I answered the phone, she thought I was a woman because my voice, I sounded like a woman. I was so weak. And she put me on hold and she says, let me call Todd. And then just like Chris said, the MOA used to come in a bottle. So here Todd is explaining to me all these benefits, right? What MOA can do for my body. And Chris and Todd and Brent, let me say this, that New Age RX products do not diagnose, treat, cure any illness or disease, okay? But I can, just like I'm doing right now, I'm sharing my story, because after I left the hospital and Todd explained to me all the benefits, I started taking the MOA, okay? And before the MOA, like I said, I sounded like a woman. I was losing my voice and I was very weak. I couldn't take no more than 15, 20 steps without having to stop, okay? And 3 days after taking MOA, because Todd said, hey, take a shot in the morning, take a shot in the at nighttime, I started to feel the difference. But most importantly, my voice came back. And I remember calling Tammy saying, I don't know what the heck is in this stuff, but I want more, right? So it kept my body going. And then by August of 2015, my EF dropped from 19% down to 9%. And fast forward again to November 17th, I'll never forget the date, 2016, my doctors come in there and they said, there's nothing more we can do for you, Mr. Peralta. You're refusing, will you go ahead and consider the LVAD? And I went to a second meeting and this is what they wanted me to give up, Chris. You know, they wanted me to, even though I was in congestive heart failure and I was weak and so forth, I still had some type of quality of life, right? The procedure that they wanted to do would increase my chances of having a stroke by 85%. I would have to be put on blood thinners. I can never take a shower, right? So they wanted me to give up this okay life to trade it in to have even more issues and more medications. And I turned it down, you know, and by that time, when they told me that I had less than 3 months to live, my EF had dropped down to 6%. And they were so adamant. They were like, we need to get you with that artificial, that LVAD. And I just turned it down. My faith in God was stronger, and my belief that I know that something, just like he had put back then, he had put RX in my life and all these phenomenal people that were praying for me. I just kept the faith. And, you know, I went into the hospital on December 25th, on Christmas Day. The medications that they were giving me were no longer working. I wound up getting hospitalized, and I'm kind of fast forward. On January 20th, I wound up having a full-blown heart transplant. And I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. I walked out on February 4th, made it home just in time to watch the Super Bowl that was on February 7th. And I started taking my MOA. You know, I remember prior to being discharged, I had my mom bring the bottle, and I had asked my doctors, and they really don't know. You know, they're very smart, but they don't believe in nutrition. You know, the nutrition that they want to give you is one medication that has all these other side effects to give you another medication. You know, they just put a Band-Aid. I am living, walking proof that if you feed your body the proper nutrients, it will heal itself. And I'm so grateful and thankful that Todd took the time to answer, number one, Tammy's call, and to sit there and explain to me all the benefits, right, that taking MOA. And that was just one product. Now, today, I must say that I cheat on MOA because there's another gold liquid that, as everybody calls it, the Limu and the Noni. I mean, those now have become my two favorite. It's like, if I miss a day, my body's like, you better go back home and take your Limu and your Noni, you know, but that's basically it, guys. I'm telling you, become a product of the product. Don't wait till you get a diagnosis, right, to start taking action. If you're healthy right now, if you're on this Zoom, you are blessed. Think about how many other people did not wake up this morning, right? And I'm not saying this to impress you, but to impress upon you how important. You know, I lost my best friend when I moved to North Carolina. He was the first guy that I met up there, 52 years old, Chris. He had one heart attack. One. On January 5th. He's gone. The only thing that comforts me is that he was a believer in Jesus Christ, and I'll get to see him one day. But guys, don't take this precious gift, life, for granted. I'm telling you, feed your body. The other day I was on a Zoom call with Mr. Ronnie and Todd, and I showed Todd all the stuff that I take. I love my Elite. For you
That's what
guys that
about.
are out there.
I was about to ask you that, LeRoy. Do you have that sitting in front of you like you did that night in the Zoom? Did you go through what you take today?
I didn't know if you want me to do that, but hey, my Rejuvenex, that is the safest clean energy. And if you're wondering what led me to having heart attacks, have you guys ever been in a convenience store or gas station and you see these little cans with a Red Bull on it? I went from that to a Rockstar to the Monsters. I love the blue and the green Monsters, right? That's all synthetic. Guess what? There's something else that I take called the Blue Frog. Not a Red Bull, a Blue Frog. It's clean energy. It doesn't make my heart do this, right? The Rejuvenex. man, just a steady flow of energy, clean energy. Don't waste your time on all these synthetic things that is doing your body harm. I cringe when I see people at the gas station, right, buying these Red Bulls and Monsters. And I quickly tell them, hey, that led me to 3 heart attacks and a heart transplant. I wouldn't drink that if I were you. And they look at me like, who's this nut? Right? But that's my story in a nutshell.
Awesome, LeRoy. LeRoy will be in Destin to share it again. We've all got, although by the way, it's a blessing to have you still on this earth in all of our lives, because
6 years.
you're now, I believe, 6 years post-transplant. You're not, I love collecting anecdotal stories. I'll reiterate our products. You would not have survived without Jesus, the doctors, and the heart transplant. The products just help you kind of heal and be healthier in the process of that occurring, and then post-process, taking care of your body. But you're not the only one. David Daltrey, who just advanced to officer, congratulations, David. He shares the same story. He had a couple of heart attacks, and several of our products have got him back best in line. We need to have him as a guest here, maybe the week after the event, Chris, because he shares the same story that LeRoy does. Just wasn't quite as severe, but it was still very, very close to death when he was in the hospital and stuff. So LeRoy, be blessed. But I will tell you, we all have the same problem. We don't know what liquid nutrition to drink. We drink it all. I got my go ahead, Brent.
I was about to say the same thing. I was in the gym this morning, and a guy was in the sauna with me, and he said, so what do you take? I was talking to him. I never miss an opportunity. All business is conversation. When you really realize this industry, you just have conversations with people. And so I talked to him a little bit. He asked me what I did. We get into it a little bit. And he said, well, so what do you take in your company? And I said, I take it all. I mean, I find myself drinking the Tahitian Noni. I find myself obviously still drinking Limu 5X. I love the MOA. I mean, I look at myself at 46 and I'm like, I feel better. I mean, I'm in better shape today than what I was several years back before this industry, like internally. And so LeRoy, when I hear your story, most people don't dig their well until they're thirsty. And that's the story you got. You were one of those. It took that to snap you into gear. And it's like, man, we've got so much to offer people by going out and sharing what we got in this company. It's unbelievable. So hats off, man. I love you. I can't wait to see you in Destin, because your story just, I'll call you Jose in Destin. Okay.
I'm Jose forever.
Hey, LeRoy.
Yes, sir.
Want to thank you for being on again, buddy, and just blessed to know you. Really, really amazing. I do want to say one more time, folks, we're not making any claims of cures. We don't even cure the common cold. We do cure the common broke. We don't cure the common cold. But amazing, if we put the right ingredients in our body, what'll happen. So outstanding. Thank you, buddy.
Absolutely. If I can say one more thing, I also, for those people that struggle with drinking your water, I'm telling you, Brent Palmer turned me on to this little packet called Elite, because that conference 2 years ago, I saw him, he kept asking for bottles of water. And he would pour this little, and I'm like, what is that? He let me have one. And at first it was like, but now, look, if you're struggling with drinking water, just pop one of those Elites in there. It just makes it so much easier for you to consume your water, man.
Yeah, and we got to give props to the Canadian crew and Nucerity who brought the Elite to our company. We all love it. Thank you.
Well, I think we want to add to what Coach Palmer said is an opportunity. I was going to make a comment, because before we go to Sheila, yesterday, I was thinking about what was being delivered. The UPS guy pulled up to my door, and I knew it was going to be a big day because I knew what was ordered. And the guy said, "What?" He said, "I make more deliveries to your house," but he said that these boxes, there's so many of them. And I was laughing because I had a 6-pack of MOA, an 8-pack of Noni, an 8-pack of 5X. And what he didn't know was there was all these other BioPro Q and Vinali. And when I had all that on the counter, the UPS man said to me, "All of this is nutrition?" And I'm like, "Yep, it is." He's like, "Man." And I have to make a joke. I said, I still look okay at 86. I have his number. I have to admit to him, I'm gonna tell him later, I'm not 86. He doesn't know that right now. But so I just said, yeah, it's working pretty good for me. And he's like,
Hey, Chris, we have Stan Kingma on from Virginia, and I believe Stan might be 88. Pretty amazing.
So let's do David Daughtry and Stan Kigma is a couple of guests two Saturdays out.
I'll
Next
get with
Saturday,
you,
I'm supposed to
Stan,
be
and see
Zooming.
if it's good with you, buddy, but he's got an amazing story.
we may already have guests lined up for that Saturday, but we'll definitely going to have them on really soon for that for sure. And I'm going to go to my sister, even though she's wearing the orange for everybody today. And I know she doesn't appear to be, but she is my older sister. She always likes to tell everybody she's my younger sister. She's my little sister because I'm just bigger than her, but she is my older sister. And I want to, as we start that, LeRoy, thank you so much for your testimony and what you do. But I'm proud of my sister. First, I'm going to tell you, I made a post about this the other day. For those that are not familiar with power rankings, the power rankings kind of tell people how their businesses are going. You can check where you rank in your state. So I never thought anything about it, to be perfectly honest. I've always been number one in Tennessee because I'm full-time in this company. I've been number one since I started. No offense, but I'm not really good. So like Alabama, with the football folks, they're used to being number one. So when it came to New Age and RX, I've been number one. And I thought I'm going to admit something else. I thought since we'd had so many website problems, there was a problem that they didn't have it correct, because I was number 3 in the state. And I'm like, how could I possibly need number 3? It's a mistake. So I didn't tell Todd and Brent this, but I actually called Maria and told her to double check something. I said, how could I possibly have fallen to number 3? It's not even possible. And I said, so who's number 1 and number 2? And they told me, and I couldn't believe it, that my sister was number 1 in the state. She's not only number 1 in the state of Tennessee, but she's also number 11 in the North American region. She doesn't know for sure what power rankings meant. And my daughter was number 2 in the state. And I think she's a little bit perturbed she wasn't number 1, but she was happy that at least her Aunt Sheila was number 1. But I'd fallen to number 3, and I found out my niece Carla's number 4. And I'm like, dang, all at once I got a whole family affair here. We've got 4 people that jumped up here. And so just so you know, you better keep your running shoes on. I don't allow it to be, it's really bothered me. Maybe why I'm not sleeping well. But my sister, I'm not going to have her to do a product testimony, but she obviously has been on our products she started with the company when I did. I, enticed her to join the company because she'd been involved, but she's seen that remarketing, but she's never worked the business. So Sheila, tell people your background before we talk about why you decided to work the business. And I'm going to turn it to Todd and Brent to quiz you, because I feel a little odd quizzing not only somebody beating me, but it being my sister. So anyway, tell people about how, how you ended up, now deciding to work. What's your background?
My background is I was a teacher full-time for 32 years. I taught 16 years in the small county that I grew up in, which is the neighboring county to where I live now. And then I married Jerry and moved to Nashville, continued to teach school, mostly kindergarten. I taught 23 years of kindergarten, and I taught first grade and third grade, and then became a school counselor. And now I'm a full-time outpatient therapist for a mental health center, which is kind of like teaching kindergarten. So because it's about trying to teach people, what they need to know. So that's my background. I'm not a salesperson, although I say that, but truthfully, when I taught school, I was selling myself to the parents that they needed to trust me with their children. Besides teaching school, I taught baton twirling for years because I always liked a little extra money in my back pocket. So teaching baton twirling became a pretty good little extra business after school hours. So I did that for all the years that I taught in Decatur County. I taught baton twirling. Even started that before I graduated high school. I had my own business at age 15. My mother had to drive me to Linden, Tennessee, because I didn't have a license to teach there. So I always had a little bit of that side business. Then I started teaching swimming lessons in the summertime with kids. And, I taught children's church at the church I went to, and children's choir. So my sister-in-law, my middle sister, middle brother's wife asked me once, was I a glutton for punishment because everything I did was with kids? And she said, I don't even like kids, and you don't do anything so not about kids. But that's, I built, I guess, businesses around doing things for people. So that's my background. So what else you want to know, Chris?
Well, take us to why you decided to work RX.
Okay, well, as you said, I started 8 years ago or 8.5 years ago, whenever you called me and said, you need to be in this company. And I said, okay, that was about it. And you need to take these products. Okay. And so I did. And I continued to take the nutritional stuff, the vitamins and minerals. I knew I needed that. And you actually put our mother on the MOA when it was in the bottles. And I made sure she took that because I knew she needed the nutrients. And she was almost 96 and pretty alert up until the last few months before she died. And I credit MOA with that. And then I continued the products, and I'd have people come up to me and say, how do you not age? You look just like you've always looked. Well, I don't look like I always looked. I can assure you I did not look like this when I was 18. I looked a little better than this at 18, I hope. A little younger anyway. But they would come up to me and say that, and my comment would be, well, I got good genes from my mother. And so most of them knew Miss Zula because she had a dress shop in town. And so my comment would be, well, just good genes, or I stay active, but never really said, I take these amazing products. And it just dawned on me maybe a year ago that it was kind of selfish, that I would see pictures of people that were younger than me. They'd go to their class reunions and I'd think, wow, they have really aged. They've put on all this weight. They look like they're in terrible health. And I'd see them walking and they couldn't do anything. And I realized that I was being pretty selfish in not saying it's about supplements. Now, I don't mind extra income. That's why I taught baton twirling and taught swimming in the summer. And I taught swimming last summer. Probably going to teach this summer at age 72 because I can still get in and out of the pool and work with kids. So why not? But people would say, how do you still teach swimming lessons? How long are you going to keep working? Well, as long as I feel like it. Right now, I feel like that's what I need to be doing. So I don't mind the extra income, but I really didn't expect to make much income with this. But if I could share nutritional products that truly help somebody else to feel as well as I feel at 72, I take absolutely no medication from a doctor except they said I needed an allergy pill because I've always struggled with allergies. And I asked them to write a prescription for it so that Medicare would pay for it instead of it coming out of my pocket. So I do take an allergy pill every night. That is it. I don't take any blood pressure medicines. I don't take any medicines they prescribed something for reflux because they thought I had it. But I didn't really think I had it. And I started taking probiotic and then I know I don't have it. So I just made the decision that it was more important for me to share to people that I cared about that they needed something different in their lives to help them with whatever their needs were. So that's really why I started sharing. Got another question?
Well, Sheila, I've had the bird's eye view of you and your brother working, and it all really goes back to really making a decision and then going through the process. And your brother made that decision years ago because he was at a point in his life where he had lost one company and was looking for how to support his family and do stuff. So he made a decision and then went through the process and built it. And I think maybe you're at that position now. I must say, when I put on the flyer again yesterday that you're 72, that it blew my mind. I cannot. You look 50. I mean, barely. It's mind blowing. So the water, the nutrition, all that stuff is doing wonders in your life. But I want you to talk to us about the decision to start putting the post on Facebook, start following up with the comments. Like nothing happens by accident here. Like you didn't just all of a sudden become successful. there was a decision made. So tell me about the decision, then tell me the process.
Okay, so the decision, Carl and I talked, and I will have to give her credit that I was number one in the state, because her being number 4 and directly under me made it, yeah, in fact, yesterday we talked about that, and she said, "You're welcome." That I didn't even say thank you. She just said, "You're welcome." Because it is a team effort, and we talked together about how to make some posts. And I didn't like the idea of posting too much, because I didn't want people to think I was trying to push something down their throats. I'm in a small community, people know me. But we actually kind of made the decision last spring to really start talking about it. When I would, as Brent said, it's about conversations. So I would begin putting it in conversations when people ask. And then in the summer, when I was teaching swimming, I had some people directly say, "I can't believe you're still teaching swimming. How can you still do this? I know how old you are." And then I would say, "When can we talk? I can tell you what I do. I got to teach these kids right now." So I made the decision that I was going to share it. Whether I made any money with it, I was going to share the business with other people. So just decided that, and Carl and I did that like a team. So that started in the summer. We tried some meetings, and it's hard for people to get to a meeting. We had a few people come to meetings, and we had people that started using products because of it. But deciding to post was hard for me, to post about products. So I actually used Andrea Rosser. I got to looking at her post, and I picked the one that had the Christmas, the drops with a little Christmas ball, ornaments or whatever it was. And I posted that one just because we had that special going on. And people always like to buy when it's a special. And so I don't know how many people said interested. And my post just said, "If you're interested, send me a personal message." Well, some sent personal text messages, but others just wrote interested. And then I would respond to every one of them, even if they didn't send me a personal text message. I responded to them through a personal text message. If I had their personal phone number already, because most of these people knew, well, all of these people, not most, all these people already knew me. I had either taught school to their kids, or I had taught them in school, or some of them I might have taught their grandkids in school or in swimming. So all these were personal relationships. So I immediately responded back personally to them. And I didn't say, "Let me send you information." I said, "When's a good time for us to talk?" That was my next line. I did not. There were a very few that just kept insisting I send them something, and rather than ignore them, I sent a couple of things. Most of those people are still not using the products. But the people that I talked to personally, 90% of them started with products immediately. I didn't talk about business. I didn't talk to them about trying to build a second income. I talked to them about their health. And what I said in my text messages, "When can we talk?" If they didn't respond in 24 hours, I responded back, and I pulled it up so I could remember what I said. I said, "Hey, I've been crazy busy all day. Can I give you a call tomorrow?" This was at 10 o'clock that night. So I wasn't pushing them quickly to, "I got to hurry and grab you." I put them off sometimes, but only because it was really me. I really had been crazy busy all day to make anything up. I just was me. And so I said, "I've been crazy busy all day. Can I call you tomorrow, or is Saturday better?" So I gave them 2 choices. Sales is about 2 choices. And then I gave them my cell number immediately. So it's personal already. You don't have to do this through text. We can do it. I said, "What's the best time for me to text or call you?" So then I didn't hear back in 24 hours, and I said, "Good morning. Just wondering which of the things are you most interested? Weight loss, increase energy, reduce inflammation, joint pain, boost your immune system, prevent osteoporosis, heart health, or all of the above with a smiley face. Carl and I came up with that together, how to get people to tell me what their needs were. So once they did that, then if they were saying weight loss or heart health or I just don't have any energy, then that's where my focus went for that individual. And that's all I did. I just stayed me with personal relationships. I had one girl say, Miss Sheila, they all call me Miss Sheila. I don't care how old they are. Of course, I'm probably older than all of them, but she said, Miss Sheila, I see stuff on Facebook all the time. But when I saw you post, I knew that I could trust you. And if you said these products were good, I was willing to try them. And I think that was probably in December it was a boost because it made me know that I have relationships with people that are important. But, I've done this selling myself as a teacher for years. And so it was just a matter of believing enough. I believed in the products. I just was cautious about trying to sell people products. And now I've decided they can try them. If they don't like them, they don't have to keep taking them. And that's what I'd say. I can only tell you what it does for me. But I know that taking these products for 8 years is why I still feel like I'm 50 instead of 70. So that's it. That's all I do.
Sheila, I'm squirming in my chair right now because you just sold. I mean, I hope everybody that's on this Zoom right now understands you need to go back and watch the recording because she just threw out gold nugget after gold nugget after gold nugget of how to grow a business. And the philosophy of networking and business and communications has never changed. In all the years, the philosophy is the same. She's utilizing social media to take a post, to a conversation, to get on the phone, to follow up, to have a conversation, to make a sale. And Sheila, you just drove home today exactly. If you want to know more about the event in Destin and why you should be there, because that's what's coming. Because Sheila, there's a reason that you're the #1 power ranker in Tennessee, and that's it. And just so everybody knows, when you're the #1 power ranker, your income, if we were to say, hey, Sheila, has your income grown from 6 months ago to today in New Age? What would your answer be?
Yes. And I called Chris and I said, Chris, I got a check for, and I told him, and he said, well, what do you think? You were going to do this work and they weren't going to pay you? And I said, well, I don't know. I hadn't thought about I was actually going to make any real money, but it more than paid for my products for a couple of months. And I went, and we take a lot of products because Jerry and I both take all the products when you're talking about, and water. If you haven't tried this one, I do the Elite when I want it cold, but in the wintertime, this with hot water makes the best hot drink after you finish your coffee, gives you the energy. But I will tell you that for my personal taste, I double the water. It's a little sweet, a little strong for me. If you double the water, I can drink 32 ounces of hot with one package of this of hot drink every morning. So that helps my energy.
I think Todd just wrote that down so we could order him some of that. I saw him writing it down. I got to try that. I was like, what's a hot drink? I want to add something to what Sheila said. And Brent, you talk about first base, second base, third base. She went through literally what you teach on the board is exactly what you said. She just told you how she did it. And she did call me, but I want to see if she remembers what I said, because I said, she said that these checks are a lot bigger. And I'm like, what you don't understand is that if you'll keep doing this for the rest of this year, those checks will not only get bigger, but they'll become residual in nature. And I'm like, guys, I'm gonna say it right in front of her. There's very few things that bug me about this industry. It's the greatest business model in the world. Ken Bailey and I talk about this a lot. Greatest business, no overhead, no risk. And yet I have tried to get my sister to engage because she likes to work. She won't talk. She likes to make money more than she wants to say. She loves helping people, but she likes that money too. Don't get me wrong. She got too much of my blood in her not to like the money part. But what I think sometimes we fail to realize is that helping people is what we do. And we have an opportunity not only to help them health-wise, and that's what Sheila's passion is. Don't think she's not liking the fact that they're paying her to do that as well. And but the allude to what I say, as hard as I love this industry, it is so frustrating to me when I see somebody that I know. She wasn't the only one. Kristen's teaching a class right now. She'd be in here listening. It drives me crazy when your own family members would go out and they know if she was making a residual income from swimming lessons. How many years have you taught swimming?
40. No, 30, 38 to 40. I don't know, somewhere around there. Since Carla was 5, she's 47, 42 years.
I'm gonna rest my case. She's doing something for 42 years. Yes, she's taught a lot of people to swim, but what if she got paid every time those kids went to swim?
That'd be
Every time they
great.
got and I know that's what we try to get across. I'm gonna give it back. I told the 2 coaches to ask her more questions, but I have to jump in because it drove me crazy that I couldn't get my own. So if you're out there and it's driving you crazy because you got somebody in your family, just keep dripping. You never know when they might up and decide. I didn't, when she said she was going to do it this time, I'm like, yeah, right, maybe, okay, whatever. But guess what? Her and Carla decided, they made an agreement to get that done. So Coach Rowland or Coach Palmer, either one of y'all can.
Yeah, Todd had to jump off for another meeting, but outstanding, Sheila. By the way, bring your baton to Destin. We might get you up on the stage or something.
Hey, I marched in 2 Christmas parades as one of the past majorettes. One in Decatur County where I grew up in Parsons, and then one in Lexington where I live. And so marched the parade route and even have video of it because my son and grandkids came to watch and they videoed me, and it was pretty fun.
Bring it with you. I'm serious.
No way. No way.
But as Brent and Chris and Todd have said, you made so many great nuggets and points there. A couple that I want to reiterate is keeping it simple. She said she was herself. Don't try to be somebody you're not, or try to act like you know about all these ingredients or this compensation plan. Deanna Latson don't know her pay plan, but she knows the products inside and out. Mark Wilson don't know her products inside and out, but he knows our pay plan. Just be who you are. And she said something also really, really important. She asked questions. Ask them what they needed. Listen to people. Don't throw up on them about all you do know. Find out what they need and then highlight that for them. And she just did it so perfectly. Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sheila, thank you for this. And just so everybody knows, you're going to get more how-to in Destin, Florida. You come to that event, you leave that event, you apply the how-tos, your paycheck's going to grow. Bottom line, just like Sheila. So Sheila, keep up. Don't let the younger brother get you to the top. He can't beat you out. Keep the #1 spot. Thank you. We love you, Sheila.
Hard. Kristen is more competitive than Chris, I think. So she's going to step it up a notch. But you know, the great thing is, if everybody steps it up a notch, our stock goes up. And I've invested, and I want to see the stock go up. So.
Absolutely.
Well, I've seen my numbers go up and I've seen my power ranking go down, and that's a wonderful thing. My numbers are up and my power ranking's down. And no, that's a great thing. It's because it's company growth and it's worldwide, and that's a good thing. Sheila, thanks for being on. Coach Palmer, what you said about Destin, guys, you can't put a price tag, and I think they've still got 20 tickets or less. Last I heard yesterday, they still had 20 spots. So when we're saying still come to Destin, there's a few spots. They ain't many. So if you want to come to Destin, it's still got time to make that happen, and it will be electrifying to be able to talk to people one-on-one. Any parting words?
Absolutely. And I know Andrea is still on. Andrea, if you can put up the Destin event link for getting there. We do have just a few spots left. It'll probably fill up today. But then as well as the Zoom information so people can plug in. And I'll just leave with this on my part. I know we're out of time, but the word unity keeps coming back in my mind over and over and over. And a great man once told me that when unity comes together in a team, in a company, in a school system, the weakest link rises to the top. When an organization comes together with unity. And what I see happening in this company, Chris and Ken and Sheila and all of you, is we're coming together unity-wise, taking care of each other, leading with love, locking arms with each other, helping each other, blurring the lines of sponsorship. You've got an unstoppable force when that takes place. And the more and more people like yourself continue to plug in, you're going to see that inside of this company. So in 5 years, when we're sitting at the top of this industry and they want to know how we got there, yes, we've got great products. Yes, we have a phenomenal compensation plan, but we're going to go back to the core root of, no, it was love and it was unity and it was people supporting people. That's how we rose to the top. So I'm excited to be a part of this journey, Chris. Appreciate you and all of your leadership, man.
This Saturday morning call is, I'm looking and just grinning because I'm thinking about so many years ago that I was so happy when we had 30 to 40 people on. And so it's just constant. But guys, the Zoom, if we can put that Zoom link back up, Anthony or Andrew, if you're still here, folks, the Zoom thing, and it is for around the world, no question about it. But we had so many Canadians reaching out to us about wanting to come to Destin and they can't get across the borders and can't get back in with so many rules right now. And guys, so the thing is that one of the reasons this Zoom is happening is very simple, is that we're trying hard to get our Canadian friends an opportunity to get that done. I'm telling you, that's what it is. I see Paul Goss shake crap, and yeah, they all want to be there. And I know Stefan Page said, I wish we could come. And I've had so many leaders in Canada. And I'm not gonna leave out Deb Snyder. There's so many. TL's on here, and I'm not gonna leave people out by starting to call names. That was why the Zoom was created for the Canadians. Let's face facts. We're gonna have people around the world, but let's face it, we really wanted this for the Canadians because they plug in. We work so hard in North America with this team, and it is a relationship business. That's all it is. And what Sheila just shared with you, I may not ever get number one back, and that'll be okay with me. Don't get me wrong, Kristen will be the harder one. She's right. Kristen will be way more difficult to take than me. But guys, it's not about where I rank right now. It's about the helping and seeing. Sheila, I'm gonna say it in front of all these hundreds of people, I'm so proud of what you've decided to take care of. And you didn't give Jerry any credit, but he's all in with you as well. And we might not should give everybody Jerry's age, but if you think Sheila looks young at 72, you should see her husband, because he's a little older than her, and he doesn't look, and he's in that picture. So we won't reveal that. We might talk about it in Destin. But thanks for being on, guys. Coach Palmer, Ken Bailey, thanks for you. Now Ken's becoming a regular with us on Saturday morning. So hey, we are getting bigger. He used to just join us as a guest every once in a while. Now he's going to be a moderator. We're going to have to put him on the pictures all the time. So thanks for being on this morning, guys. We will see you guys. Obviously we will not be here next Saturday at this Zoom. It'll be the big Zoom. Anthony, can you post that picture one more time? We'll have it on MOA Challenge and UH Nation, all those places where you can find that Zoom. If we don't get it posted, it's fine. But anyway, thanks for being on, guys.
See you in Destin.
Thanks, guys. Love you. Great.
Blessings.